Hi, I'm Avlin and I'm an intern with Lexis and Company, and today I'm going to discuss the topic of administrative adjudication along with some constitutional provisions. So, administrative adjudication has been simultaneously used with administration of justice. In administrative society, bulk of cases are not being decided by the ordinary courts. When a dispute arises between administrative agency and a private person, then it is solved by an administration, which is called administration adjudication. Modern government gives rise to many disputes which cannot be solved by with the application of legal terms or legal principles, and depends ultimately what is the desire or what is in the interest of the public as a matter of public and social policy. For example, industrial relation between and worker and management must be settled as soon as possible, and it is not only in the interest of the parties that such a dispute must be solved immediately or expeditiously. It is also in the interest of public. So for an ordinary court to give justice or to solve the dispute between the workers and the management expeditiously is not possible. At the same time, these cases are not to be decided in arbitrary and autocratic manner. So keeping this situation in mind, Law Commission of India submitted a 215th report, that is 215th report, to the Government of India, and a radical change was brought in the Constitution of India through Section 46 of the Constituent Amendment, 42nd Amendment Act 1976, which inserted a new part 14A on tribunals. These arbitrary tribunals were established to decide various quasi-judicial matters in the place of ordinary courts of law. So what exactly is the meaning of a tribunal? According to the dictionary meaning, tribunal is an administrative body which exercise power to adjudicate. Whereas in Indian Constitution, though the term has not been defined, but its position lies somewhere between courts and government departments exercising adjudicating powers. Tribunals are not court of law, but they are still vested with the powers to adjudicate upon the issues. There are provisions under Indian Constitution which recognize the importance and existence of the tribunals. Article 136 and Article 227. Article 136 is Supreme Court's discretionary power to grant SLP, that is special leave petition, from any judgment, order or any decree in any cause or matter passed or order in any cause or made by the court or tribunal within the territory of India. Article 227 mentions about the High Court's power of supervision over all the courts subordinate to it and tribunals throughout the territory which it exercises power. Throughout the territory in which it exercises power. So what exactly is a tribunal? And Supreme Court has various high courts, and Supreme Court has even defined the term tribunal as it was held in A. Srinivasan Rao versus Government of Andhra Pradesh and T.R. Ranjanam versus Government of Tamil Nadu, that a tribunal is not a court subordinate to the High Court, even though the High Court exercises the power of jurisdiction or judicial supervision under Article 226 and 227 of the Constitution. Further, it was held in Union of India versus Delhi High Court Bar Association, that Parliament can constitute other tribunals not covered under Article 323A of the Constitution. So, what are the basic reasons for the Constitution or adding Article 323A and B in the Constitution? This question was answered in T. Sudhakar Prasad versus Government of AP by Supreme Court. Parliament was motivated to provide new adjudicatory fora for new chief and fast track adjudicatory systems and for formatting them to function by tearing off the constitutional shatters of strict rules of pleading, allegiance, trade trials, 3 to 4 tier appeals, endless revisions and reviews, creating hurdles in fast flow of stream of justice. So the basic reason this was held by the Supreme Court. These are the wordings of the Supreme Court, but if we talk in layman language, so the main reasons for the establishment of tribunals was that for speedy trial, for letting people have speedy justice, and moreover to avoid all the procedure which we follow in normal courts for petty matters. So for such matters which need to be decided immediately, we need not go in the ordinary courts and we need not go through all the functions. So that is the reason behind the enactment or behind the establishment of tribunals. So moving forward, what is the difference between court and a tribunal? So courts are established part of a legal system to give decisions in civil and criminal matters, whereas tribunals deal with tribunals are minor courts that adjudicates disputes in special cases. So the decision given by the court is called judgment or decree, and the decision given by the tribunals are called award. So awards are not binding, but decree and judgments are binding. The courts are headed by judges, panel of judges, magistrates, whereas the tribunals are headed by chairmen and members. Indian Evidence Act, CRPC, CPC, these are the laws which are followed for giving a judgment or deciding a case by the courts, whereas no such procedure is followed by tribunals, and that is why their decision making or their awards are a bit fast and speedy in nature. Courts are pure judicial body, whereas tribunals are quasi judicial body. So I want to conclude the lecture, like our discussion, with the provisions of Article 323A. Along with the provision of Article 323A, Parliament also enacted Administrative Tribunal Act 1985 to establish an administrative tribunals for union, viz. Central Administrative Tribunal, and a separate administrative tribunal for a state, or a joint administrative tribunal for 2 or more states. So the large establishment of administrative tribunals became necessary since large number of cases relating to service matters were pending before the courts. So the setting of administrative tribunals not only reduce the burden of the courts, but would provide speedy relief to the aggrieved public servants. Thank you.